just started watching Teen Wolf. I have watched it before, but when I was a teenager, and I haven't watched it in years. I'm 23 now, for context. So yeah, I'm just really struggling to find like a show to watch right now. So I thought, hey, Teen Wolf, let's give that a go again. Thoroughly enjoying it. Currently watching the second episode, and I thought I'd record a little video as well. I'm going to start this one off on a positive note because I feel like it might go a bit downhill. So I'm going to bring in the positive energy first because, yeah, I don't want to start it all off on a dark note. So this might sound incredibly strange to people who haven't experienced this before or anything like it, but trust me when I say that this is a huge achievement for me. So I used to do this thing where when I was feeling anxious, or not even anxious, I think I would just do it quite a lot without even thinking. Like it was just muscle memory, or like a thing that I did when I was like feeling stressed or whatever, like a nervous tick kind of thing. But I used to bite my gum and my lips to absolute shreds, and it was so bad, and I would just do it and not even realise that I was doing it. It must have been like going on for some time, because I have a vivid memory of when I was younger going to the dentist with my siblings and my parents and being so nervous because I'd felt like the damage I'd done to my gum with my tongue, and it felt so much worse than it actually looked. But I didn't know this because I was too scared to look like in the mirror at my gum. So I just remember being so scared that like my dentist was going to be mad at me, or he was going to like get confused and be like, what have you done? Or, you know, he was going to tell me that I've done really bad damage to my gums, basically. But he didn't say any of that. Like he literally didn't even say anything about the state of my gums. So I looked and it wasn't that bad, but still, it's not that nice. And I digress. But basically, to make a long story short, I've been chewing on my flesh for a long time, and on my quest to become more present, I realised that, hey, I need to stop chowing down on my skin, and I need to stop floating away. That's what I call it when like I just disassociate, or I daydream, or I'm like not present. I float away. And I was like, hey, if I stop floating away, I will like realise when I go to bite my gum, and then I will stop myself before I do it. And then my gums will heal and it won't be painful anymore. And it took a week for my gum to fully heal from me munching on it. I'm both in awe of like how long it took, but also how quickly it took. Like the body's just amazing. Wow. It honestly just reinforced to me how much my body does for me. And it was like a bit more of an incentive to be more present and stop floating away, because I've realised that I've been doing all the right things physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually I have been lacking through no fault but my own. And coming off of last week, I got a bit frustrated and a bit angry because I got a bit ill. I got my time of the month, or the spiritual girlies call it their moon cycle, and honestly, like, it sounds so whimsical and cool, and I love the moon. So I'm like, yes, on my moon cycle. But I felt completely off. I felt so rough and tired, and just all of these healthy habits that I'd been slowly building up, and all of the motivation that I was slowly getting, you know, feeling like I was like a different person, and I was changing my life, and I was becoming like this version of myself that I really love, and it just got completely ruined, and it vanished with, you know, it felt like I was slowly but surely building this really beautiful tower, and in a matter of like seconds, it just got knocked down. And yeah, and that was really hard to feel and experience. It's because I was resting. I wasn't really doing anything, basically. My mind kind of felt a bit scrambled. I know when pregnant women like struggle with that sometimes, like when my drama teacher was pregnant in school, she called it baby brain. But I have like period brain where when I'm on my time of the month, I can't speak properly. Like, I don't know what the frick's going on. Yeah, I just felt really off. I didn't feel like myself. It was just not the vibe. And coming off of that, I just felt like such a failure afterwards, because all of the things that I built up, I felt like they just collapsed. And I had this moment where I just thought, well, I failed again. I tried to build these habits and I did it slowly. I didn't rush. I didn't put too much pressure on myself. I was slowly becoming more present, and I thought that that was a stable enough foundation, but clearly it wasn't, because it got ruined within like a day of me being ill and just feeling off and not wanting to deal with that uncomfortable energy of like not being able to move and just feeling ill and weird and off, and I couldn't really stick to my routine in a big way. So I did kind of fall back on what was comfortable and what was familiar. But does that make me a failure? Does that make me a bad person? No. Because also here I am now recognizing it and changing it. So no, it's not the end of the world, like I first thought it must be. I also think sometimes things like this have to happen so we can see, actually, yes, it was familiar and it was comfortable, but it doesn't make me feel good. So I'm not going to stick to what I was doing. I'm going to stick to actually what I was starting. Even if it's a bit uncomfortable, it is now what is best for me, and it's now what makes me feel good. And I also just want to work with my body, not against it. And I think being present makes working with your body so much more easier. I never realized or appreciated how much stress I was putting my body through, and how this affected me physically, and how it affected the way my body functions for me. I put my body through a lot. I know harboring emotions or not feeling certain things can have a huge effect on your body, but I never really thought I was doing that. I always was and am the first one to encourage people to feel their emotions, but I never really encouraged myself to be with myself and feel them myself. And to be honest, I never really felt the need to. When I was younger, I was like always known as like the sensitive one or the emotional one. I saved every physical memory that I could. I kept everything, kept like every birthday card ever. And so I've always had this idea that like, yeah, I'm fine. Like I am emotional. Like I am sensitive. I do care. Why would my body be stressed? Why would I not be feeling things? Like everyone knows I'm the sensitive one. Everyone knows that I'm the emotional one. And then this morning I had this realization of actually, oh, I'm not very emotional right now, and I haven't been for a while. I don't feel what I'm feeling. I don't really acknowledge my emotions, at least fully, and to the extent that I need to. I think I kind of tend to acknowledge what I'm feeling, realize it's bad, or realize that I don't feel safe enough, or tell myself that, hey, this isn't the time to deal with this right now, and then kind of just push it down, forget about it. And then when I do have time to deal with it, like, say you're out and about in public and this thought or this feeling comes up and you're like, oh, I don't really want to deal with that right now. I'm out in public. And so you push it down, and then you come home and you're like, oh, I can deal with it right now because I'm safe and I'm alone and I feel comfortable enough to like cry or feel it fully or whatever. But I never do that. Like, I'm like, I don't have time to deal with this, or this isn't the time to deal with it. And then I get time to deal with it and I don't. I float away. I distract myself with other things. And yeah, I guess I've just kind of always done that for a while now. I think I was getting somewhere last week what I was feeling, and I found it quite overwhelming. Like I said, I was feeling ill, I was feeling rough, I was feeling very off and odd. The vibes were not vibing, I didn't really know what to do. I think it was a mixture of like being on my time of the month, feeling really ill and tired, not being able to like stick to a routine, but also in England it's been like so rainy, and the lighting, I don't know, it's been weird. Like it's just been so dark and grim, at least last week. So it just felt weird. Like the lighting in the house and every room just felt off, and it was making me feel even more weird. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Also, there's an eclipse or a retrograde, or, Leo's in a donut or whatever. So I was really struggling to be with those emotions and those feelings, especially because I didn't know really what I was feeling most of the time. I just knew I didn't like it, and it was incredibly overwhelming. I remember crying and just thinking like there must be something so wrong with me, which again is so funny because I'm so passionate about crying and releasing your emotions and helping your body feel what it needs to feel, and like releasing what it needs to release. I would never judge anyone for crying. I encourage it, but whenever I cry, I'm like, there is something so deeply wrong with me. Like, I can't go on like this. I'm so broken. I feel so broken. I feel so ashamed. Like, I don't feel safe to cry. And I have to, like, really, like, give myself a pep talk and, like, really remind myself, like, you're allowed to cry. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. Like, you're a human. Crying is a thing that we do. And I remind myself that too, this is a hotel, not a house. Emotions come and they go. They are visitors. You need to, feel them so they can check out quicker. Because there's a lot of emotions that want to check out and can't because I'm just harboring them and not, I'm keeping them hostage in my hotel. But yeah, after that moment of like, oh my gosh, something is deeply wrong with me, I then had a moment where I was like, actually, this is fine. Nothing's wrong. I'm just feeling my emotions, and I'm actually proud of myself for feeling my emotions and releasing them from my body in the form of tears. And on that note, I will say again, presently, I have a new incentive to keep myself present and tethered to the ground, as it were. Sorry, I just got a visual of there's a scene in Bridgerton of a hot air balloon that like nearly flies away or flies into someone or something. I can't remember the scene specifically, but basically like all the men of the ton like grab the ropes of the hot air balloon and then like trying to keep it from floating away or trying to keep it from like crashing into Penelope. And I just got this like visual of like me being the hot air balloon trying to like float away, and my new habits and the men of the ton like trying to like drag me back down and like keep me grounded in my body, and the hot air balloon is like the old me like trying to float away. The men holding the ropes are like my new self, and they're like, no babe, like we have to stay on the ground. Anyway, sorry, that was random. Sometimes I think I just like randomly give myself visuals of things. I'm a very, very visual person. I'm a visual learner, and I like to just have images to like help me make sense of things, but also just like, I don't know, I found that really funny. So it kind of helps sometimes to just make light of the situation. So every time I think about trying to stay grounded, I'll just have that scene in my head and it will make me laugh. Anyways, but the new incentive is that I am excited to work more with my body and heal my body. I feel like everything goes hand in hand, and the more you learn about your body and your emotions, the more everything starts to click and fit into place. And I don't know, it's working for me and it gets a little bit easier each time, at least in the understanding and the incentive, I guess, because I don't want to float away all the time and leave my poor body to deal with all the stuffed down emotions that I don't want to deal with. Because my body does so much for me already. I also just didn't realise, and also I always, like now I realise, but I just forget how much this stuff like affects my gut. Hot girls have stomach problems, but also I don't want stomach problems anymore. Yeah, and how it's all kind of everything is connected to gut health as well. And once I did find that out, and I had like a, oh yeah, like wow, yeah, okay moment where it all just kind of explained a lot of things that I've experienced. I'm also really excited to learn and work more with my cycle, because I am a woman who does have a menstrual cycle. And when I was younger, I always just assumed that that meant the part of the month when you were on your period. Come to find out that no, your cycle is like the whole month. Like it's the whole 25 days, 30 days. And each phase of the cycle affects you differently. It affects you physically, mentally, emotionally. There are different exercises and foods and just ways of being that you can do and incorporate into your lifestyle to help support your mind and your body while it is in these different times of the cycle and different phases of the cycle, which absolutely blew my mind and also made me so angry, because I was like, why didn't we learn about this in school? Like, why didn't I know this already? I'm in my early 20s and I'm finding this out. I'm having to find this out on a random TikTok scroll. This cannot be. So yeah, I feel like once I learn about that and find out about that, it's going to make even more sense. And yeah, I'm just excited to learn more about my body and be in touch with my emotions and hopefully heal myself a bit more and physically as well. Because like I said, I had this moment where I was like, I'm doing everything physically right. Like I'm eating right, I'm exercising, I'm going on walks, I'm journaling. Like, why isn't anything working? Like, why do I still feel awful, or why am I still getting like certain negative physical symptoms? And then I was like, oh, maybe it all starts with the mind and it all starts internally. This was a weird one and probably a very short one. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out, I guess, because it was on my mind. And I will talk to you soon because I've been yapping for far too long. Bye.